Hey guys, welcome back to another What's for Dinner video. If you're new here, my name is Jess and I'm a stay-at-home mom of two. We like to try all kinds of recipes, some that we find to try and some that we make up ourselves. So if you're interested in easy and delicious dinner ideas, stick around. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe if you're new so you don't miss out on any future dinner ideas. Let me know in the comments below which of these is your favorite or that you want to try, and let's get to it. Alright guys, so tonight for dinner we're making something that my mom used to make a lot when I was growing up. It's a recipe for Hard Rock Cafe baked potato soup. And my grandma had it written down in her recipe book that she got from my mom. But it is a copycat recipe and it's all over the internet. And while my grandma had really pretty handwriting, this is hard for me to read while I'm running back and forth and all that. So I just found a version of it online and printed that out. So that's what I'm going to glance at while I'm making this. And it's probably not going to be exact because I don't really need to make this much. This is 8 servings. So I'm just going to kind of wing it and just use this as a reference for ingredients. So what I need to do first, I bought 2 big russet potatoes. I'm going to do these in the air fryer and bake them. I don't know why I have this. I'm going to make baked potatoes in the air fryer, and it says 4 cups, which I don't know if I need that much. And I'm wondering how much these are going to make. So we also have some of these yellow potatoes, gold potatoes, in the pantry. So I might just throw a couple of those in there too, and if I don't need them, then I'll just have leftover potatoes for lunch or something. So I'm going to get these going, because these are big. They'll probably take an hour in the air fryer. And then I'll let them cool down a little bit, peel them, dice them up, and then they'll be ready to go in our dinner. So I got this big thing of, here, show them the front. It's like a whole set of these animal books. Someone was giving them away on Facebook Marketplace, so I grabbed them because I knew Tucker would love them. Look at that owl, he's so neat.
And funny.
He wanted to show you this other one he thought was funny too. What kind of bird is it?
Doesn't say.
Doesn't say what the picture is of exactly.
It's too far. Don't you skipped it.
So I got my potatoes all washed, and then I coated them with some olive oil and put some salt on them, and I'm just going to stick them in the air fryer. So I do mine on 400, and usually like 40 minutes, but these are really big potatoes. So I'll do 25 minutes and then I'll flip them, and then if the smaller ones are done, I'll take those out. And then we'll do it for another 25 minutes and see if they're done. Okay, so my potatoes did not have enough time to cool enough to where I could just peel them easily and they didn't crumble. So instead of diced cooked baked potatoes, we have rustically torn apart. I was burning my fingers. But yeah, that looks good to me. I'm pretty sure that's going to be enough. I used the 2 big potatoes and then just one of the small ones. I might do another one, but I have my bacon cooking. And then when it's done, we're going to take it out and keep the grease in the pan, and we'll start making our soup. So to start this off, we're making a roux. I cooked half a package of bacon and took the bacon out, and I left a little bit of that grease in the pan and added a little bit of butter. And I'm just going to let it cook for a little while to cook that flour off, and then we'll start adding in our seasonings. I remember always loving this soup when my mom made it when I was a kid, and I haven't had it in forever. So I was super excited to make this. It's so delicious. So to my roux, I'm just going to add in some salt and pepper. And then I'm adding in some dried basil, some dried parsley, some garlic and onion powder, and some Tony's Creole seasoning. Of course, some of these are a little different than the recipe, but I thought it turned out great. And I'll leave that recipe down in the description box below. So I just let all of those seasonings cook in the roux for just a few minutes just to kind of bring out the flavors some more. And I'm going to start adding in my chicken broth. And then I'm going to add in my heavy cream. I know that was an awful angle and you couldn't even see what I was doing, but like I said, the recipe is linked down below. So we're going to get that all incorporated in there, and then we're going to add in our shredded cheese. So once all that cheese was melted, I did taste it to see if it needed anything else, and I added a little more salt and pepper. And then I'm just going to add in my potatoes and stir them up without breaking them up too much. And I added in about half of my bacon. I'm going to save the rest for topping. And this soup is super quick to make, and it's so good. So I just cut up a store-bought baguette to have with our dinner, and we have some extra cheese and bacon and some green onions for topping off our bowls. This soup is so delicious. If you've never tried it before, I highly recommend it. On this night for dinner, I have some chicken thighs that I'm going to cut up. We are making some honey sesame chicken, and Tucker wanted to help with this one, so he's going to help me get everything in the crock pot. So I'm starting off by adding a cup of honey, some pepper, and some soy sauce. I love when the kids decide to help in the kitchen. They don't do it as much anymore as they used to now that they're getting older, but a lot of the times Tucker is still interested in helping. So he's also going to add in our sesame oil, olive oil, some minced garlic, some onion powder, and then we're going to add in some barbecue sauce, which I was a little worried about when I read the recipe, but it turned out delicious. This is one of my favorite things I've made in a while. This was just too good, and it's making me want it again watching this. And we also added in some chili flakes. So I just let this cook for a couple of hours until the chicken was cooked through, and we stirred it up and added on some extra sesame seeds. This is so delicious. To go with this, I just made some white rice, some frozen pot stickers, and a mixture of green veggies. And this couldn't have been any easier, and the whole family loved it. So tonight's dinner is something I just kind of made up as I went, but I'm sure you could find some similar recipes online. I'm making some creamy green chili and chicken taquitos. So I didn't have any chicken broth, so I'm just making some with some water and chicken bouillon here. To make a cup of chicken broth, and I'll type this out in the description box below. Then we're going to add in a can of green chilies. And of course, you don't have to do this part, but I'm going to blend these up in here because Adam doesn't like the chunks of them. So we're just going to make a green chili chicken broth. And Tucker was so excited to help with this, and I'm always afraid they're going to spill something. But no, this time it was me. Now that we've made a giant mess, hand me that rag. We don't need this anymore. I knocked over an entire full glass of ice water, and it flooded the counter and all under the microwave and was running off onto the floor everywhere, but we got it cleaned up and got back to cooking. Now that we made a giant mess, we're going to keep going. So we blended up our green chilies in our chicken broth, and that's going to go in the crock pot. Don't spill it. We've had enough spills. Good job. Some salt and pepper. Not too much. Yeah, just do a good amount. Not a ton though.
Come on, get down. Nana. Now what?
Now we're gonna do the taco seasoning wherever I put it. So we're gonna throw a little bit of taco seasoning on top.
Can I taste it on my finger?
No.
That smells like a delicious
So I just did half of it.
I could just sit here smelling this all day.
Sprinkle some lime juice on top. Not too much, just like boop, 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 boop. There you go. Good job.
Now that
Smells
smells
delicious.
amazing. Yeah, come smell this.
We're gonna put this on high until
What is it?
probably about 4 hours. It's enchilada chicken to make taquitos.
Actually smells like taquitos.
Mm-hmm.
No, it smells like those ATB Doritos, the taco flavor.
Yeah. So we're gonna put some olive oil in our pot.
That comes out of water.
A block. That's good. I'm glad you're helping me again.
Add the peppers.
No, just turn the pot on. This one. Put
Two.
it on like almost 6. Right after it says medium. Go push and turn.
There.
Let that heat up for a minute and we'll put these in. I guess you can throw them in. red pepper. And pepper. Is it good?
Nope, bigger.
It's a bell pepper.
Not cooked.
And yellow onion. Don't drop the bowl. I hope your hands are clean.
Yeah.
Let's start cooking. Don't touch the pot, it'll get hot. So I'm going to salt and pepper. So what we're starting on now is some black bean soup. I have seen my friend Taylor make this a couple of times on her channel, and I'll link the recipe and one of Taylor's videos down below. But we're just cooking up some onions and peppers, and I'm gonna have to change mine up a little bit and blend these up so that they're not actually in the soup. Not chunky anyway.
And not story mode.
What do you think? Those look good?
Yeah,
Let's see.
the story.
See if it's-
That must be hot.
Huh. A little bit more. So once those were all tender, I'm just put them in a measuring cup, and I'm using my immersion blender to blend this all until it was smooth. I kind of felt like I was making baby food. That's what it ended up looking like, but it's gonna go into the soup with some other stuff, and it turned out delicious. So, of course, you don't have to blend these up if you don't want to. Put our pepper stuff back in.
That hot. Looks like cheese dip.
It does look like cheese dip.
Do we just store it? Now to add the beans.
Now then all of our beans. Beans, a musical fruit.
How's it musical?
Because the more you eat, the more you chew. Careful. Start like this, like gentle, so you don't break all the beans up.
Ew. What? How much is there? Now that smells like an enchilada.
Until I blend it up, I'm just gonna put half in. Some chili powder.
And then cinnamon.
Not cinnamon.
And what's the cinnamon?
Cumin.
Cinnamon!
Can't tell how much that is. Can't see.
I see a lot.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't slip in your chair. There's some salt. Some pepper.
It sounded like he said paper. Or is it just black paper?
I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic.
Now that looks good.
Yeah, now we just gotta bring it up to a boil, turn it down, and let it simmer.
So put it on what?
Well, don't put on anything yet. It's gotta cook. I might have put too much broth in it. Once my chicken was tender, I'm just going to shred this up, and my new favorite way to do this is to just throw it in my mixer bowl and shred that chicken. Once I had that all shredded up, I'm putting it back into the crock pot with all of those juices that were left over, and this gave it such good flavor. And then I'm adding in a package of softened cream cheese and about 2 cups of Monterey Jack cheese, and I'm just going to stir this until it's all melted together and delicious. I was going to make these in the air fryer, but I ended up making so many that we just went ahead and cooked them in the oven. So we just took our flour tortillas. These are the butter ones from H-E-B. So good. Put a couple of tablespoons of that mixture in there and rolled them up and sealed them with a toothpick. And then by the time I was ready to bake them, Adam got home and he was helping me out. And we just sprayed these with some nonstick spray, and I think I cooked them on 350. I'm not sure, but it'll be down in the recipe below. And we just cooked these until they were golden brown and crispy, and they turned out so good. We also blended up about half of our soup so it was half chunky and half not. And then we made some of these Dorito wheat snacks to go on the side. This dinner was so delicious and everyone loved it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button down below. Please subscribe if you're new so you don't miss any future videos, and we will see you guys in the next one.